All right, it's happening. It's happening. We are 9.5 weeks out. And the reason I'm like, this is happening right now is because I'm feeling crazy today. Like, I straight up am feeling super crazy. And I'm like, you know what? Let me take y'all along for the ride since I have this beautiful new camera. Okay, where do we even start? Let's catch up. So let's rewind 9 years ago when I decided to enter in a fitness competition. My husband decided to get me 12 or 16 weeks of coaching, can't remember, as like a gift. And I was like, yeah, I'll just try it. Like, I just want to try the thing, see what happens. That first show was in 2017, and obviously like dieted hard, worked hard, but it was like I'd never done anything like it. And I ended up winning first in my class and first overall in that show, which was crazy. I think that was the most unexpected thing that could have happened, honestly. So yeah, then fast forward, we ended up doing the provincial show. I worked with the coach, Adam Atkinson, who's still in the game. His athlete, fun fact, just won the first ever pro show, fit model pro show in Japan, Emily Chanel. She's gorgeous. Anyway, super happy for him. But won the provincial show, my class as well. I didn't win the overall that show. Qualified to nationals. I ended up winning my class at nationals in 2017. These are all like a few weeks apart. So I won 3 shows in the span of like 1 month, maybe. Never competing in bodybuilding ever. And just shocking, honestly. So anyways, I ended up qualifying for the international show, which was Ben Weider, and that was in Toronto in 2017. During that time, they were changing the rules. They were like, it was CBBF, Canadian Bodybuilding Federation, and then it had not yet been CPA, which is NPC, which is IFBB. So they were kind of like confused. And I remember the night before, they were like, my heels had like a bit of a platform to them. And they said, you can't have platform heels. So that night, I had to try and find new heels in Toronto, which I lived in Calgary. And it was like, I'm a size 5. It was crazy. Anyway, somehow we found some. By the grace of the universe, we found some. Ended up going on, and the posing was different too, because the NPC IFBB poses with like an arch in your back. And at that time, CBBF said no arching in your back. This is the Elite Pro League now. Literally overnight, they changed the posing. And so, anyways, I wasn't used to that. I ended up winning my class, you guys, and they gave out 2 pro cards that show. The first pro card was the overall, and the second pro card, I tied for that second pro card with a gal from Bermuda, and I literally just missed it. She won, and I lost that tie, and I was fucking crushed, to say the least. I was crushed, okay? But it was my first year of bodybuilding. Like, your girl had no muscle density, okay? And somehow I still was able to have such a good run. After that, I freaking decided I love fitness so much. I decided to study for my personal training certificate. So I went through that, did that, started coaching. Ended up being sponsored for a trip to the Arnold Amateur to compete in the Arnold Amateur. So I did bikini, and at that point my heart wasn't in it. I had actually gotten into 2 car accidents 3 weeks apart, back to back, and my nervous system was completely shot. I was in so much pain, but I honestly didn't want to let my sponsors down. I didn't want to quit. So I kept going, and probably wasn't the smartest idea looking back, because my nervous system was super, super unwell. And on top of that, I was 6% body fat, and it just wasn't a good mix. But ended up still going through the show. I wasn't really adhering to my diet plan as I should have been. And I ended up placing 5th in bikini A, which was my height class. So still 5th in the world at the amateur level, which was still pretty impressive, but it was a hell of an experience. After that, we're having a family. Okay. We decided that okay, bodybuilding and having a family don't really coincide at the same time. So let's have a family. I ended up getting pregnant. I was still training like crazy. My body was like, bruh, stop. So ended up having a miscarriage that pregnancy, which was super sad and kind of a reality check for me. And I just talk about it openly because I know that so many other women have been there, and like there's a lot of us. So it is what it is. And you have to move on from that. What can you do? You can't let that run your life forever and ever. So anyways, just after that, got pregnant with Melina, had her, realized how different training had to be for postpartum women, which is why I started Power by Petra, because postpartum women absolutely need corrective core exercises, functional strength, core strength, rehabilitation, all of that stuff with their deep core. And that's where my baby was born and my passion is. And then I don't know. And then I obviously got pregnant, had Micah. I was 8 months pregnant, moved to Toronto from all of my friends and family in Calgary. I had Micah in the bathtub of our apartment because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to have a water birth, and I did some hypnobirthing. I trained my mind to allow this to happen as organically as possible. And sometimes it doesn't work out, but it worked out for me. And it was a beautiful birth. Intense, but beautiful. Anyways, then we moved to Saskatchewan. Now we're living in Saskatchewan. My husband's a football coach. And being here, it's a smaller city. It's way smaller than Toronto. It's like the biggest city to the smallest city in Canada. There's like 250,000 people here. And in a way, it was such a blessing because we got rid of all the noise, got rid of the commute, got rid of the busyness, the hustle even, mentality, and came here and there's like no frills, right? There's no distractions. There's nothing like throwing you off. So, with my husband being at work all the time, I started eating the same thing a lot, and I started tracking my macros, and I started actually going back to the gym for the first time since having my kids. So for the first time in like 7 years, I started going back to the gym, and that, I didn't even know it at the time. It sparked such a fucking fire under my ass. It sparked such a spark in me that I was like, I love this shit. And then I started tracking macros, and I was like, this shit's really easy for me right now. I am a football coach. No, I'm not a football coach. My husband is. I am a fitness coach. So I preach this to my clients. I'm like, it's intuitively, I do it naturally, right? So I thought, you know what? I've always wanted to get back on the stage after having kids. That was always my main goal. And I was like, now's the time. There's no better time to do this. I'm literally here, not distracted. My husband has meals for him provided most of the time. The kids eat the same rotation. How many times can you eat mac and cheese, chicken nuggets, and rice, right? They actually like my meals a lot. So I decided, I'm like, I just missed my pro card. I'm hungry for it. I'm going to go chase it. And there was a new category that was announced in the IFBB Fit model, which is right up my alley because I could never gain enough muscle density for a bikini. And I just pride myself on being a natural athlete. I'm a lifetime natural athlete. I just feel most comfortable that way. So I thought, let me do this natty and let me just run it back, the comeback season. So I had it on my eye to work with James from Team Atlas, and he just consistently, literally, on paper, year after year, provides the best athletes and packages brought to shows. He has the record for the most bikini and fit model pros made 5 years in a row. So I'm like, if I want the best results, I'm going to go to the best coach. I had wanted to work with him back then, 9 years ago. And so this year I was like, I'm just going to fucking do it. I'm going to stop talking about it, stop thinking about it, and literally just do it. And if it doesn't work, whatever. But let me just see it through as much as I can, right? So anyways, hired him in October for a year. I'm like, I'm giving myself a year. Let's see how this goes. And we've just been working ever since. I wanted to gain a new perspective as well, coaching, being the client instead of being the coach for once, and see kind of how that plays out. And so I thought it would be good for, just my perspective and how I coach my girls and all that stuff too. So doing that, that was a long story. That was a 10-minute long story about how we're 9 weeks out. But anyways, let's document the journey. Let's see what happens. Honestly, I've been loving every single day. I've been very open about just really enjoying the process and really enjoying the journey. And that's one thing I think that you need to do is really fall in love with the journey, because the end goal is cool. But the end goal, once you get there, it wasn't like, oh, this is fun. I have what I want. Thanks. It's like, you know what you put into this. And I know what I'm putting in daily. I know the daily deposits with training my ass off to failure. Learning more about different form and technique, nutrition, and I'm not even counting macros. I'm on a strict ass meal plan, following that to a T, even when it feels like so much freaking food. I started out maintaining, he had me like in a surplus for, I think, 2,200 calories for a long time. And I'm 5 feet tall, 100 pounds. So really the goal was to build muscle first. And now we're kind of leaning out slightly, but I'm still eating like 1,850 calories a day, which is great. 9 weeks out. Anyways, with that, weekly posing lessons, you guys, like I bought 2 suits. They were $650. We shouldn't even talk about expenses at this point. That's another conversation. But the daily work that it's taking to just be ready to be better than I was last time, 9 years ago. And I'm fucking pumped. And I'm just excited. And I told myself I was going to document more. And now that I have, a camera, I can like be more on it with that. And we'll just see how it goes. So anyways, thanks for being here. 9 weeks out, feeling crazy. It's a full moon. I'm PMSing. I'm in a calorie deficit right now. And everything's just felt really hard the last couple days, but it's all good. I'm pretty sure it's hormones, and the older I get, the more crazy and erratic they get. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm actually good. Like I just took a bath. I'm good. I'm taking care of myself, but like just feel like loopy. You know what I mean? My brain is not here. And what it really is the winter in freaking Regina is so harsh and cold and long, and when the sun is not out, I'm not the best girl. So I just need the sun to come out. I just need it to be spring and summer, and we'll be absolutely, totally fine. But until then, head down, work mode, and I don't know, I'll check in sometime soon. Thanks for listening. Bye.